Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today, I've got another Gun Gripe episode for you. This is going to be a great one. I've got my friend Nate with Gun Drummer here with me today. He's going to be sitting in for this Gun Gripe, and we are going to be getting into the discussion of pop culture and the anti-gun element that is seemingly infused into pop culture, and we're going to be primarily discussing the entertainment industry. If you guys have not checked out Nate's channel, you have got to go see Gun Drummer. He does gun drum covers of all different types of tunes, and it is wildly entertaining. We recently just got off a batch of videos. He came over here to hang out with us and come and visit, and we actually were able to make some videos with him that are going to be going live on his channel. Make sure you check them out. And I thought it'd be cool to have him in on a Gun Gripe, so here we are. And you know from personal experience dealing with situations where, let's just say, worlds collide, right? In this case, let's just say the music industry and then folks that are, pro 2A. Sometimes those waters are murky, and sometimes those ideas clash, and you've dealt with that from personal experience. So tell us a little bit about your perspective on the music world as how that applies.
Sure. Well, I've always been into music, and I've also always been a gun person since I was a kid, so I grew up with it. I actually didn't realize there was such a big prejudice against firearms in general as a subject and people that own them until a few years ago. And getting into the music industry kind of has been interesting because I've noticed a lot of, especially the companies that are responsible for the bands and stuff like that, the publishers or whatever you call them, they're very not okay with firearm content. They just don't like it. And I've been lucky enough with this channel, like you said, to kind of cross the firearm community and then like the music guys, because I really have been able to introduce a boatload of people into this world that otherwise wouldn't have researched it on their own. For example, if someone loves a Slipknot song or a System of a Down song and they see my cover and they're like, oh, I get countless comments that are, man, I've never really liked guns, but I kind of like this. This is interesting. And
right.
I'm hoping that it brings them over because, we want to accept everybody into this. We want everybody to be free. We want everyone to be able to defend themselves and their families. We want everyone to be happy, basically.
Yeah.
And we think being armed is a crucial part of that. So any way to bring them over and hopefully funnel them over to your channel, or hopefully I can get some more informational content on my channel.
Sure.
And just generally bring people into this world, start educating them, and
That's
get them in on it. It's super fun, too. We want you to come over and have fun.
Yeah.
And shoot guns. So.
Well, I think that there definitely are some different subsets, not to diverge too much on the subject matter, but I will just quickly mention that there does tend to be a couple of different types of gun channels, right? I mean, and you've got, some people that are just super down the Uber rabbit hole of just strictly education. Guys like, Ian at Forgotten Weapons, and you got C and Arsenal, and you got Anvil Gunsmithing, and you've got those types that are uber engaged and uber professional and uber, like super, super specific subject matter, and it's done really, really, really well. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got guys that are in your realm, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but it's a complete 180.
More entertainment.
Because it's more entertainment that just happens to be using guns as sort of a driving force. Like, the focus is not on guns, but guns are a pretty integral part of that content, to where it's like, all right, what's happening here? How do we set ourselves apart? So there is a bit of that goes on, and I found, so I don't know if you guys know this or not, we have a guitar channel also. It's called Guitarsenal, and we post all different types of, guitar demos, amplifiers, effects pedals. I do a few lessons and things. We got our little Tone Talk series, which we haven't done one in quite a long time. We need to get on that. But we've been running that channel now for almost 3 years. So it's been a labor of love, and also, a lot of time that Chad and I put into that channel, and we purposely don't make a big deal about like promoting it here unless it's like in the context of the video like we are
music,
now. So,
yeah.
But I don't just blindly like promote it on Iraq Veteran because I don't want to, I guess I don't want to troll people in that regard. So I figured that people will just discover it, by virtue or whatever. But the point I'm making is that in my travels with that channel and dealing with more of the music side of things, we've seen a very similar type of situation. You'll have those people, and I'm not going to say who because I don't want to harm them in any way, right. But you'll have those musicians and company owners and people that will reach out to you and they're like, hey, love the gun channel. And that, oh man, I'm so stoked when people do that. I love it when people in the music industry reach out to me and they're like, hey, you know, I'm pro-gun, I'm here in evil California. You know, they always refer to it as the Empire Curtain, you know.
Behind enemy lines.
Yeah, the Iron Curtain, you know. But it's so cool to have them reach out and go, hey man, you know, I'm behind enemy lines and I'm pro-gun and, you know, hey, I do this or I do that. And there is a good bit of crossover. There's a lot of people that are into music that are also gun people. I think the disconnect is society as a whole tends to hold those people prisoner from us in a lot of cases. So I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that are like, hey, yeah, I love machine guns and I love this and I love that. And some of them even show me some of their collection. And I'm like, wow, heck yeah, man. Like that rivals some of the gun guys I know. But they can't say anything. They can't openly come out and say, you know, that they're a gun guy, that they support gun ownership. And why is it that society as a whole has created this taboo around being a gun owner, that someone who's proud to be a gun owner and wants to be vocal as being a gun owner can't even come out and say that they're pro-gun for fear of losing their job or losing their position or getting voted off of a board in some cases or something like that, you know?
It's the second rule in our founding document, and for some reason it's taboo, you know? And it's an integral part of our culture. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be the United States if we weren't gun-toting, you know?
I know. It's just so wild, you know, and then maybe on the other end of the spectrum, you look at guys like Ted Nugent, for instance, you know, and Ted is like super out there, super pro-gun, like he is not afraid to tell people, yeah, I'm meat-eating, you know, gun-owning dude, you know, hunts and everything. So Ted sort of embodies that culture of coming from a world of music and kind of getting more into self-sufficiency and guns, I believe, as he got older. I think maybe when he was younger, he was into guns, but maybe I think he got a little bit more into it as he got older. And maybe you see that people mature over time, which we love Ted. If you're watching Ted, don't think that I mean anything negative by this. Ted's a great guy, but it's like the last time I worked with him, it's been a few years ago, and he is a character. And I mean that in the best way, like the best of ways. It's like the first time I met Ted, it was like there was this aura around him, you know what I mean? It was the weirdest thing. It's like I'd love to meet him. I felt Ted's aura. Like I was with somebody, and I think it was Ray, and Ray was awesome. Like, "There's Ted," and I had my back turned to him, and it's like, yeah, I could see that. I felt his aura. It was like weird. Like some people some people just have an aura, and like when Ted's out there, it's just like he's larger than life. Like he's such a larger than life personality. And you can see why guys like him just were so successful, you know. And he really is a great guy, too. Really humble guy. But see, there's very few instances in the music world where we can point to somebody that's pro-gun, and it's normal and accepted, right? When someone goes to a Ted Nugent show, they know they're going to see an AR-15 and a cowboy hat with the American flag on it. Like, they know that's what they're showing up to get. We lost Charlie Daniels recently. Charlie Daniels was extremely pro-gun. Mm. He came over to Iraq and played for us in 2006. And he stayed until 1 o'clock in the morning, shaking all those soldiers' hands that wanted to go through and meet him. He personally sat there and made sure that he stayed until the last soldier wanted to meet him and get an autograph from Charlie Daniels. So he loved the troops. So there is a bit of spillover there within the music world. You're going to have people that are pro-freedom, you know, pro-gun, and they're in positions in their career and their life where it's okay for them to come out and say those things, right? I guess the crux of this gripe would be that there certainly are a lot of musicians and movie stars and other people within the pop culture realm that use their position, their influence to say bad things about gun owners and to, you know, talk about gun control, and, you know, that becomes an issue.
It's really weird. It's weird to me, the whole push for gun control and everything, because it's not founded on reason. Like if you're trying to use your logic and reason, it makes no sense trying to take things from people and enforce your will on people, especially when it's not going to solve the problem. And even if it did, too bad. You know, it's part of our Constitution. Yeah. And it is very deep in different industries. I've had several bands. Obviously, I would never name who, but they're very nervous about working with me. A lot of them have even backed out, even after committing, because whoever's above them are just, nope, you're not allowed.
That's sad.
You can't mess with guns. It is sad.
I remember,
weird.
and I hope I get this right. All right, so you remember, and I want to say this was back around, I hope I've got the date right. I want to say around 1994, 1995, Korn released the video for Got the Life. Remember that song?
Love that
song. All right,
song.
and remember in the song, the camera follows a bullet throughout the video, and the bullets, shooting through glass and shooting through all kind of stuff. And I remember watching that video, that Korn video, thinking, that's cool, man. Like, they put a bullet in their video. And me being a gun guy, I thought that was so cool. Well, come to find out, Jonathan Davis is the singer for Korn, I think is his name.
Yep.
I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, because maybe people don't know, maybe they do know. But so Jonathan Davis is a huge Revolver guy. He loves
really?
guns.
I didn't know that.
He loves shooting revolvers, okay? And he also makes his own ammunition. So he makes his own revolver rounds.
That's
and he,
awesome.
Loads like match grade ammo and trickles every charge. Like, he's super anal about like making the perfect load and everything like that.
No kidding.
From my understanding. I hope I'm not stepping anywhere I'm not supposed to step. But so there's some videos floating around. So I guess it's his bass player's name is Monkey with the dreadlocks. So he's got this metal trap, and this is going to blow Chad's mind because he doesn't know this. He's got this metal trap that he puts in his mouth, right? And it's a big metal trap. And Jonathan Davis from Korn will take the revolver and go, hold still.
What?
And he'll shoot the cast bullet into the bullet trap that he holds in his mouth.
I did not
And
know that.
and they do that for fun. They do that for fun.
That's wild.
So apparently he's a wicked good revolver shot. And you've got to really trust somebody.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, but how rock and roll is that?
That's
you know what I mean?
pretty
And when
heavy.
you see that bullet going through the glass in that music video, it kind of makes you go, oh, you know what? I can believe what I heard about that because of you see that projectile and you go, yeah, I can see that.
Can you see them in their living room at home and Jonathan Davis just like just shooting his,
Break out the
shooting his friend
revolver.
in the
Yeah.
face.
But the thing is, it's like there are a lot of people that love guns and are pro-gun, but don't necessarily make a big deal about being so. I mean, maybe another good example would be like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Like they had a range built at their house. I mean, they're super, super pro-gun. They don't necessarily like talk about it though, or make a big deal about it. Or like Keanu Reeves,
Keanu
you look at John Wick and you look at all the training he did with Taran Butler and everything, and that's cool. Like you saw Halle Berry out there shooting when they did the other John Wick movie, and then of course Keanu Reeves. And it's like, is Keanu Reeves ever going to come out and go, "Hey, I'm a gun guy, and screw you, Hollywood elites. I'm the gun guy." So it's like, how does a guy like Keanu Reeves promote the Second Amendment in a way that is positive, but without saying he's pro Second Amendment? See, that's the issue. It's like, so what are you gonna bite the hand that feeds?
Yeah.
And you're being paid millions of dollars to act in movies. If you come out as saying, "Hey, I'm pro gun" at a fundamental level, you may not ever get any jobs
You
again.
could get blacklisted, yeah.
But he can promote gun culture in the movies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You really, like, in terms of the people in Hollywood, Keanu Reeves takes me as one that is a good, humble guy, and from every type of indication that I've ever gotten from people
Same.
that have met him, is he is one of the salt of the earth people, one of the best people you could ever expect to meet in that universe. Him and John Voight, Angelina Jolie's father, he is a model American. I follow him on Twitter, and I've been so happy following John Voight. His posts are incendiary. They're great. He is such a
Just
good dude.
right in there.
Dude, he's awesome.
This is kind of off topic, but do you know the Matrix movie where he walks in through the metal detector and the guy's like, "Please give all your spare change and your keys and everything," and he just like opens his coat and has all those holsters? We need to figure that out and maybe replicate that at some point.
I think we will. I think we will.
Need your help with that one.
So it's a double-edged sword. There's a lot of things within pop culture, such as movies. Like we always talk about the errors in Hollywood and everything. But if it's one thing Hollywood has sort of effectively done, maybe not by choice, they have normalized and made guns visible in culture, right? I mean, how many people refer to old videos old movies from their childhood, and you remember the guns they were using, you remember like how the firearm made that scene what it is. I mean, all right, so when the Terminator's walking through the mall looking for John Connor, if he didn't pull a lever action shotgun out of a box of roses, would that scene have meant as much?
Right.
There
No
was
way.
just something so rock and
So
roll
cool.
about that, you
So
know?
cool.
Guy's got a box of roses, and you're thinking, all right, so this guy's a robot, right? Like, how could he think so, like, you know what? I could hide this in anything. I'm going to hide it in a box of roses. So imagine his robot mind going, I'm going to get a box of roses because it'll look real awesome when I break this thing out of a box of roses. Yeah, but that's those moments in cinema kind of like solidify certain things, and it's like, yeah, you know what, I can get behind guns because that's awesome.
Yeah, they'll use them in movies all day to be cool, but then
Right.
publicly and financially back groups that try to take it from regular people.
Yes.
So
Yes. And it kind of,
just
you know,
messed
makes you
up.
think it's like it's almost a class struggle element that goes into it, whether it's the musician world, whether it's the actors and actresses and movies, or even sports. So like we've noticed that with all of the things going on, I'm not going to get into the extreme details of BLM or any of the things that a lot of these, you know, sports teams and things are promoting, but people don't have to cancel them. They cancel themselves. I mean, like, you look at Netflix, you look at all the major sports teams, they're suffering. Like, people vote with their feet, right? They don't have to do anything. They cancel themselves just by supporting outlandish ideas when they should be staying in their lane. So we can see that on the other end of the spectrum, not only are people not visibly pro-gun, maybe in the music world, the acting world, or in this case, the sports world, but when they go visibly anti-gun,
they're sinking their ships.
they sink their own ships.
I'm happy
and
to
we don't
see
have
it.
to do anything.
So I'm happy. I mean, if they want to run themselves into the ground, then so be
Right.
it. That's their own choice.
So I wonder if the music, you know, on the musicians' end of things, I wonder if they purposely don't tread into the pro or anti-water just for fear of being canceled by anybody on either side of
A
the
lot of the publishers I've learned enforce that policy because they don't want to alienate people that are already prejudiced against firearms and firearms owners. That's what I've learned. So a lot of it is the bottom line. I think with Hollywood and social media is more of an ideology driven thing. I don't know. I don't think it's as much about money, but the music, for sure, that's what their managers are typically thinking about.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of these bands, they don't even need it. Even if they alienated a few people, it wouldn't even matter, and they're still too cowardly to even step into it. It's just sad. I mean, it's like you're already one of the biggest bands on earth.
Yeah.
You could come out and stand for something,
Yeah.
but
It's sad because,
It is,
I mean,
it is.
there's a
It's
lot of
unfortunate.
really good people in the music industry that I've met. And again, I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want to get them any professional trouble or
Sure,
whatever, but
sure.
they have been some of the greatest people to have conversations with. And dare I say, I consider many of them friends. And, you know who you are. If you're watching this video, you know, we talk regularly, and it's cool just to meet people within that world that you respect deeply. And I wish I could say who it was, but there's so many people that I respect deeply, and it's like, and when they reach out to you, it's like, wow, like I'm having a conversation with this musician,
Right.
Who I greatly,
It is really cool.
who
It's
I greatly
really cool.
respect.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow,
It's
like
a
we're
trip.
having that conversation. It's so cool, you know, and knowing that they're trusting you with that little bit of confidence
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're not gonna, blow the lid and make a big deal about it. So
exactly.
it's a little deeper than just having a normal conversation about normal things. It's like when someone lets you into that little element of their world, they really trust you. And it's a shame that gun culture has become this taboo thing that has to stay in the closet. And
know.
I want to change that in culture. I want
Yes.
people to know that talking about guns is normal, right?
It really is.
Gun ownership is normal. It doesn't make you a bad person to own a gun or to talk about it. You know,
They don't murder people on their own. I mean, every gun owner I know, any of you, you're not murderers. So I don't think the guns are the actual problem here. you
Yeah.
know? There's something deeper going on if people are grabbing firearms and running out and using them to harm innocent people. I think there's probably a deeper underlying problem, and using a firearm to murder someone is kind of a symptom of whatever that is that's going wrong.
it can be a symptom of your environment, your upbringing, the
Yes.
financial situation that you're in, the economical situation, rather, that I should say. There's definitely a lot of things that can go into this type of a video, excuse me. But I think we covered, I really wanted to discuss mainly the entertainment industry in the
Sure.
way of music, because you're a musician, I'm a musician. If you guys don't know...
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
No, you are.
A poor musician.
I will say, you're actually, he doesn't just play guitar. This dude obsesses over guitars and guitar parts and amps. He's got the hugest collection of amps I've ever seen in my life. And you
Yep.
can actually play, man. I didn't realize, we went out in the woods, cranked that amp up, you were shredding.
I appreciate
I don't
that.
think you usually shred all that much. You're more of like a blues guy.
I'm more
right?
of a blues guy.
He was shredding
But
yesterday.
when I
I'll
break
tell you.
out the Joe Satch model and a half stack,
that whammy bar,
it's
we
kind
were
of hard
having
to
a
not
good
want to
time.
do some crazy stuff. And I appreciate you coming down to film with us.
Of course, man.
Guys, make sure that you check out Gun Drummer's channel.
Thank you.
Just type in Gun Drummer. He's on Facebook, Instagram, social media, drummer_gun on Twitter, and then, of course, Gun Drummer on YouTube. We've got 3 videos that we cut with him. Make sure you tune in for those. And also check out our Guitar Arsenal YouTube channel. Subscribe to that if you want to support us. We put out a video every week. So, yeah, we're musicians. Yes, we own guns. And it's okay to dip your toes in both pools, right? There's nothing wrong with it. I think the more areas within the gun world that we blend these elements, I think the more we can start to change culture. And I think a change of culture is going to have to occur before we can add the gun culture into it in a more involved way, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're getting there. I believe that we're winning the cultural war.
It's just cool, man. Shooting, not only is it important, but it's cool and it's fun. So the more people that come over and they want to have fun and actually learn about firearms and get into it, the better.
Yeah, man. Well, definitely, I appreciate you coming and hang out with us.
course,
I know you
thank you.
traveled a ways to get here, but thank you for coming. And guys, make sure you check out his channel yet again. We've got a lot of great projects on the way. We hope you'll stay tuned for them. Tons of videos. We're working our butts off. And I am going to get in the woods and do some hunting in the next couple of weeks. And hopefully I'm going bear hunting, so we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. If you don't hear back from me, I guess you'll know that Yogi got me. But maybe I'll take some donuts with me. If they try to climb the tree, maybe I can coerce them away with some donuts or something.
Good try.
We'll see. All right, guys, have a great day. See you next time. Many more on the way.